Hello students, welcome to my channel Hans Commerce Tutorial for the lectures on commerce, accounts, finance and management. My suggestion to you, before watching the video, please go to the description below my video. You'll find a link there. Take a printout of the problems given in the link and keep it ready before watching the video so that you can be able to understand the problem, the solution and the explanation to get the maximum benefit from the lectures. Thank you. Come on students, now we'll start 11th problem. 10 problems we have so far completed. So if you are watching all the videos, hope you got a good command on internal reconstruction. What are the journal entries to be passed and how it will affect the balance sheet we have seen. Now 11th problem. So in order to get a good command, don't break the sequence. You have to watch the videos from part 1, part 2, part 3, like that you can be able to learn. If you join in between, if you directly come to video number 4 and see the video, you cannot be able to get the complete knowledge, you cannot get the command. So from beginning it will be better if you watch the video. Now 11th problem. The following was the balance sheet of Universal Auto Limited as at 31st March 2002. Now authorized capital 10,000 shares of 100 each, 10 lakh. We don't require authorized capital. Issued capitals, issued, subscribed and paid up capital. 1,009% preference share of 100 each, 1 lakh. 3,000 equity share of rupees 100 each, 3 lakh. So we are given both preference as well as equity. 13% debentures 1 lakh, secured creditors, then trade creditors. Goodwill, fixed asset, cash, profit and loss account. This profit and loss account 61,000 is a fictitious asset. We have to remove it. The company decided on a scheme of reconstruction which was as follows. 2 equity shares of 100 each, 50 paid up, were issued to each preference share. Preference shares are not sacrificing because presently preference share capital was 1 lakh rupees, 1,000 shares of 100 rupees each. Now we are cancelling this preference share capital of 1 lakh. Now what we are issuing, 2 equity share of 100 each, 50 rupees paid up. 2 equity shares we are issuing for every preference share. 100 rupees each, but 50 rupees paid up. That means 50 into 2, 100 rupees. So they are foregoing the preference shares and they are getting the equity shares. Each existing equity share is reduced to 50 rupees paid up. The face value remaining same as 100 rupees. The face value is remaining same, but we are treating that it will be 50 rupees paid up. 1,000 equity shares were to be taken up by the directors by paying to the extent of 50 rupees each. The new 1,000 shares are being offered to the directors and directors are purchasing 1,000 shares on which 50 rupees paid up. Then debenture holders to receive 800 fully paid equity shares of rupees 100 each in place of debentures. The debenture holders are also cancelling their claim and they are accepting the equity shares, 800 equity shares of rupees 100 each. Then unsecured creditors to be paid immediately to the extent of 10% of their claim. Unsecured creditors are 40,000. So 10% of 40,000, 4,000 rupees cash they are accepting immediately, and they accepted a remission of 20% of their claim. They are foregoing their claim 20%. So 40,000 cut 20%, 8,000. So 8,000 amount they are foregoing. The amount available as the result of the scheme to be used to write off the debit balance in P&L account. The profit and loss account 61,000 fictitious that we are writing off. To write off the goodwill account 1 lakh rupees we have to write off, and to reduce the value of the fixed asset by 10,000. You are required to give journal entries to record the above and give the balance sheet after the reconstruction is effected. Now see here, one by one we'll see. First of all, the present preference share capital, they are agreeing to cancel the preference share capital and agree to purchase to get the equity share capital. So first of all, 9% preference share capital, old 100 rupees, 1 lakh, we are debiting. So preference share capital is closed. Now in return of that preference share capital, equity shares are issued. So how much equity? 2 equity shares, 1,000 equity shares we are issuing, 50 rupees each. In a 2 equity shares we are issuing for every 1 preference share. So how many preference shares are there? 1,000 preference shares. So 1000 into 2. 2,000 equity shares will be offered, and each share paid up value will be 50 rupees. So 1 lakh rupees, 1000 into 2 into 50, 1 lakh rupees. There is no sacrifice made by preference shareholders. So they are returning the preference share and they are getting the equity share. Then, being the old preference share capital cancelled and new equity shares were issued. Now equity share capital old 10 rupees, 3 lakh. Old equity share capital of 10 rupees cancelled and new equity share of 5 rupees are issued. 1,50,000. Remaining amount is transferred to reconstruction. Being the old equity capital cancelled and new equity share issued as per reconstruction scheme. Now bank account data to equity share capital. 1,000 new equity shares are offered to the directors and directors have paid 50 rupees per share. So 1,000 into 50, 50,000. Being 1,000 new equity shares issued at a paid up value of rupees 50. 13% debentures account data 1 lakh. Debenture holders are also offering to cancel the debentures and they are accepting equity shares. So 1 lakh rupees ka debentures chale gaye. In return, they are offered 800 equity share of rupees 100 fully paid up. So 800 into 100, 80,000. They are foregoing the amount of 20,000 to reconstruction 20,000. Being the debentures cancelled and in return thereof, the company has issued equity shares. 800 equity shares of rupees 100 each, fully paid. Trade creditors account data 12,000. Actually 10% of unsecured creditors are paid immediately and 20% they are foregoing. So 10% of 40,000, sorry. 40,000 is the trade creditor. 40,000 ka 10%, 4,000 rupees cash we are paying to bank. And 20% they are foregoing. So 40,000 into 20%, 8,000. They are foregoing the amount. So total 4,000 plus 8,000, 12,000. So 30% of unsecured creditor, they are foregoing and they are receiving the cash. So 12,000, 4,000 rupees they are getting the cash immediately and 8,000 rupees they are foregoing. The amount foregone will be transferred to reconstruction account. Being the trade creditors, 10% were paid immediately and 20% foregone as per reconstruction scheme. Now reconstruction account is debited by 1,78,000. Here you can see 1,50,000 plus 20,000, 170 plus 8, 1,78,000. Totally we have 1,78,000 in reconstruction account. So debit kar denge. Profit and loss account 61,000 completely written off. Goodwill 1 lakh rupees completely written off. Fixed assets were written off by 10,000. Still 7,000 rupees balance is remaining. That is transferred to capital reserve. Being the fictitious assets and intangible assets written off and fixed assets are written down, the balance is transferred to capital reserve as per reconstruction scheme. So these are the entries. Now balance sheet. See the balance sheet now. Equity and liabilities, shareholders fund, share capital number 1, reserves in surplus 2, non-current liability, long-term borrowings, trade payable, total. Tangible, intangible, current asset में एक ही current asset है, cash and cash equivalent. Now, first note, share capital. 6,000 equity share of 100 each, rupees 50 paid up, 3 lakh. How 6,000? See, here 5,000. 2,000 shares are issued here. 2,000 shares are issued here and here 1,000. So 3,000. 3,000 plus 3,000 shares are here. 3,000. 3,000 shares into 5. 1,50,000. So 3,000 plus 2,000. 5,000. 5,000 plus 1,000. 6,000. So 6,000 equity share of 100 each, rupees 50 paid up. So 6,000 into 50, 3 lakh. And 800 equity share of 100 each fully called and paid up. ये 800 shares debenture holders को दिए 100 rupees fully called up 80,000. So total share capital 3,80,000. Reserves and surplus, only one capital reserve is there, 7,000. Then long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings में secured creditors are given 10,000. Same amount we have taken. Secured creditor 10,000, no change. Trade payable 28,000. Trade payable, out of 40,000, creditors have foregone 12,000. We have debited trade creditors by 12,000. So 40,000 minus 12,000, 28,000. The total of liability side 4,25,000. Now tangible assets, fifth. tangible assets. So tangible assets are 3,70,000. 3,80,000 were there. 10,000 we have written off. Fixed assets written off 10,000. So 3,70,000. Cash and cash equivalent 55,000. How 55,000? Before capital reduction 9,000. 50,000 rupees bank account is debited here. Bank account is debited by 50,000. So 9,000 plus 50,000, 59,000. Minus 4,000 rupees are paid here. 4,000 rupees are paid to creditors. Bank account is credited by 4,000. So ultimately 55,000 are remaining in cash and cash equivalent. The total of the balance sheet 4,20,000. This is the end of problem number 11. Now last and final problem on internal reconstruction, that is 12th problem. The following was the balance sheet of Tin Toys Limited as on 31st March. Authorized capital 20,000, equity share of 10 each, 2 lakh. Issued and subscribed and paid up capital 12,000 shares of 10 each, 1,20,000, less calls in arrear 3 rupees per share on 3,000 shares, 9,000, 1,11,000. Sundry creditors, provision for taxation. Goodwill, building, machinery, stock, book debts, cash at bank, P&L account and preliminary expenses. These are fictitious. The directors find that the machinery is overvalued by 10,000. So machinery में सर 10,000 rupees कम करना है. Write off machinery by 10,000. It is now proposed to write down this asset to its true value and extinguish goodwill account, P&L account and preliminary expense account by adopting the following scheme. So it is asking you to write off goodwill account, P&L account and preliminary expenses account. ये तीन अकाउंट्स को कंप्लीटली वाइप ऑफ कर देंगे और बिल्डिंग को 10,000 रुपीस कम कर, मशीनरी को 10,000 रुपीस कम कर देंगे. Then what is the scheme? Forfeit the shares on which the calls are outstanding. There is calls in arrear on 3,000 shares. वो 3,000 shares जिसके ऊपर calls in arrear है उसको forfeit कर देंगे. तो we'll pass the entry for forfeiture. Reduce the paid up capital by ₹3. तो 10 रुपीस के शेयर में 3 रुपीस राइट ऑफ कर देंगे, 7 रुपीस पर शेयर बना देंगे एंड रीइश्यू द फॉरफिटेड शेयर्स एट 5 रुपीस पर शेयर. जो फॉरफिटेड 3,000 शेयर्स फॉरफिट कर दिए थे उसको रीइश्यू करेंगे 5 रुपीस पर शेयर एंड यूटिलाइज द प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेस इफ नेसेसरी. अगर ये राइट ऑफ करने के लिए कुछ लेस अमाउंट पड़ गया, कुछ कमी पड़ गई, तो उसको प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेशन में से निकालेंगे इफ नेसेसरी. Draft the journal entries necessary to give effect to the above and prepare the reconstructed balance sheet of the company. First of all, journal entries. Equity share capital account data 10,000. Actually 12,000 subscribed capital were there. Out of 12,000, 3,000 shares we are forfeiting. तो 3,000 निकाल दो उसमें से. तो 12,000 minus 3,000, 9,000 shares. So we are converting 9,000 equity shares into new equity shares. So equity share capital 9,000 into 10, 90,000 to equity share capital 7 rupees. जो 10 रुपए का शेयर था अब नया शेयर 7 रुपए का बना देगा. तो 9,000 into 7, 63,000. Balance 27,000 will be transferred to reconstruction account. Being the old equity share capital cancelled and new equity shares issued as per reconstruction scheme. Now forfeiture of 3,000 shares. 3,000 शेयर जिसके ऊपर 3 रुपीस नहीं पे करा, 7 रुपीस पे कर दिया. Those 3,000 shares were forfeited. The entry for forfeiture is share capital account should be debited. Share capital account should be debited. तो equity share capital account 3,000 into 10, 30,000. 30,000 रुपए equity share capital cancel हो गए. 2. Shares forfeited account. Shares forfeited account is a new account which is opened and credited by the amount which is already paid by the shareholder. Shareholder जो पहले से पे कर दिया उसको क्रेडिट कर. 10 rupees में 3 rupees he has not paid. 7 rupees he has already paid to the company. So 3,000 into 7, 21,000 he has already paid. And how much he has not paid calls in arrear? 3,000 into 3, 9,000. To calls in arrear 9,000. So 30,000 में 21,000 he has already paid and 9,000 he has not paid calls in arrear. So the entry for forfeiture. Equity share capital account data to shares forfeited account to calls in arrear account. इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल को फुल फेस वैल्यू से डेबिट कर देंगे 10 रुपीज। शेयर्स फॉरफिटेड अकाउंट को जो क्रेडिट करेंगे वो कॉल्ड अप अमाउंट, जो पेड अप अमाउंट 10 रुपए में 7 रुपए दे दिया उन्हें, उसको शेयर्स फॉरफिटेड। और कॉल्स इन एरियर जो नहीं पे करा 3 रुपीज ही हैज नॉट पेड, this is the entry for shares forfeit. Being 3000 shares forfeited due to non-payment of calls of 3 rupees, then the shares forfeited are reissued. अब shares जो forfeit कर लिए उसको reissue करेंगे। reissue करने पे बैंक अकाउंट डेटा 15,000, 3000 shares were reissued at 5 rupees each। प्रॉब्लम में दे दिया 5 रुपये में reissue करें, 10 रुपये का शेयर 5 रुपये में इश्यू करें 15,000। अब लॉस कितना हो गया? 5 रुपीज का लॉस हो गया, क्योंकि 10 रुपीज का शेयर 5 रुपीज में इश्यू करे तो 5 रुपीज का लॉस, दैट लॉस विल बी डेबिटेड टू शेयर्स फॉरफिटेड अकाउंट। यहां पर शेयर्स फॉरफिटेड को क्रेडिट करे 21,000 क्योंकि गेन हो गया था। ओल्ड शेयर होल्डर जो पे कर दिया वो गेन, अब नए शेयर होल्डर को जो इश्यू कर रहे लॉस हो रहा उसको डेबिट करें। शेयर्स फॉरफिटेड अकाउंट डेटा 15,000, 3,000 into 5 टू इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल 3,000 into 10, 30,000। नया इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल 30,000, being the 3,000 forfeited shares reissued at a discount of 5 rupees। Now, अब ये जो नया इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल 10 रुपीज का है इसको भी कैंसिल करके न्यू इक्विटी शेयर ऑफ 7 रुपीज बना देंगे, क्योंकि पूरे शेयर्स जो 10 रुपीज का शेयर है उसको नया शेयर 7 रुपीज कर देना है। तो इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल ओल्ड 10 रुपीज 30,000 अभी जो है, अब उसको टू इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल न्यू 7 रुपीज, तो 3,000 into 7, 21,000 टू रिकंस्ट्रक्शन अकाउंट 9,000। Being the old equity shares of 10 rupees cancelled and new equity share of 7 rupees issued as per reconstructions। अब shares forfeited account, shares forfeited account में जो बैलेंस बचा हुआ है that will be transferred to capital reserve। shares forfeited account is credited by 21,000, here shares forfeited account is debited by 15,000, so 21,000 minus 15,000, 6,000 rupees are remaining in shares forfeited account that will be transferred to capital reserve। So shares forfeited account data to capital reserve 6,000, being the balance in shares forfeited account transferred to capital reserve। Now written off, writing of the assets। रिकंस्ट्रक्शन अकाउंट में कितना पैसा है देखिए, यहाँ 27,000 है और यहाँ 9,000 है, तो 27 plus 9 36,000, तो रिकंस्ट्रक्शन अकाउंट 36,000। कैपिटल रिजर्व जस्ट नाउ वी हैव क्रेडिटेड कैपिटल रिजर्व बाय 6,000, वो भी यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं कैपिटल रिजर्व 6,000। नाउ इट इज गिवन इन द प्रॉब्लम दैट इफ देयर इज शॉर्टेज ऑफ अमाउंट टू राइट ऑफ द एसेट्स, दैट अमाउंट कैन बी टेकन फ्रॉम प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेशन। दैट्स द न्यू पॉइंट इन द प्रॉब्लम। अगर ये एसेट्स को राइट ऑफ करने के लिए कुछ पैसे कम पड़ रहे हैं तो वो पैसे प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेस में निकालेंगे। तो प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेशन अकाउंट डेटा बैलेंसिंग फिगर 300, अब जरूरत पड़ेगी तो टू गुडविल 10,000 राइट ऑफ, टू पीएनएल अकाउंट 20,800, टू प्रिलिमिनरी एक्सपेंसेस 1,500, टू मशीनरी 10,000। ये पूरों को ऐड कर दिए तो 42,300 होगा। 42, if you add up all the four amounts you will get 42,300, but we are having only 42,000, we are having only 42,000, there is a shortage of 300 rupees, that 300 rupees we are withdrawing from provision for taxes, balancing figure 300, being the fictitious asset written off, intangible asset written off and other asset written down as per reconstruction scheme. These are the journal entries. Now we have to make a revised balance sheet after capital reduction. So equity and liability, shareholders fund, share capital 1, reserves and surplus 2, non-current liability are not there, current liability, trade payable, short-term provisions, then assets tangible, intangible, inventories, trade receivable, cash and cash equivalent, blank balance sheet we have prepared. Now in notes we will take one by one. Share capital 12,000 shares, पहले 9,000 shares issued थे, उसके बाद 3,000 जो forfeit कर दिए फिर reissue कर दी, तो remaining 12,000 shares of rupees 7 each 84,000। एक शेयर 7 रुपये का है, पूरे 12,000 shares issued and subscribed, तो 12,000 into 7 84,000। No reserves and surplus, then no non-current liability, कोई debentures वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं है। अब current liability में trade payable 3, The current liability sundry creditors 15,425. Here also 15. The before capital reduction जो sundry creditors थे, after capital reduction उतना ही है, no change. And short term provisions. Short term provisions पहले जो था provision for taxation. Provision for taxation was 4,000. Out of 4,300 rupees we have deducted, we have taken. Provision for taxation में से 300 रुपए निकाल ली, तो बचे कितने? 3,700. तो 3,700. तो total 1,03,125 is the total of the liabilities. अब assets, tangible fixed assets. Tangible fixed assets में building 20,400, 20,500 and machinery 40,850. Machinery का value 10,000 rupees कम कर दी. Actually before capital reduction 50,850 था. 50,850 में 10,000 rupees निकाल दी, तो बचा 40,850. Building value same. 61,350 is the tangible. Intangible asset we don't have. Inventories we have not changed. So same amount of inventory. The stock is given 10,275. 10,275. Before capital reduction जो था, capital reduction के बाद भी वही. Trade receivable 15,000. Before capital reduction 15,000. After capital reduction 15,000. No change. Cash and cash equivalent 16,500. Here we have changed. So cash at bank was 1,500. Cash at bank was 1,500. Here I click. That is 8th point. Cash. 1,500 was the cash balance before capital reduction. Now how much bank account was debited here? You can see 15,000 plus 15,000. Then next, any other credit bank account? Bank account is credited anywhere? No, not at all. So 16,500. So 1,500 plus 15,000, you'll get 16,500. The same 16,500 I have taken in balance sheet. 16,500. The total of the balance sheet is 1,03,120. That. These are the problems on internal reconstruction. We have done 12 problems. Some 4 problems we have done short problems and 12 long problems we have done on internal reconstruction. How to implement the scheme of internal reconstruction. So my suggestion, if you want the complete command, first of all begin with the theory video. The first introduction video I have given on theoretical concept, the meaning of internal reconstruction, what are the journal entries, accounting entries to be passed on internal reconstruction, all these things I have given in the first video introduction. So please, if you want the complete command, go to that introduction video, watch the video, you will get some confidence on theory of this internal reconstruction, then start watching the video of problems. So some 4-5 videos I have made on this problems of internal reconstruction. Go, watch them carefully, then definitely you can be able to get a good command. You can get a lot of confidence by watching these videos. So all the best for your preparations. Next video I am going to prepare on acquisition of business. Till then, goodbye, take care, and please subscribe my channel, share my channel, like it, and give the comments.